Summer Madness 6. Don't miss history.
Main stage. Let's jump right into the main stage. I'm excited for this. I'll definitely be ordering the pay-per-view down here in Florida. Hopefully Irma don't come and mess anything up over here. I need as long as I got my connection, I'll be good. I'll have to watch it on my phone if I have to, but I'm definitely getting the pay-per-view. Wish I could fly out there and see that. But let's jump into it. I'm going to first predict what might be a surprise battle that's on the card, because knowing URL and the trend that they've been setting and everything, there's got to be a surprise battle on the URL. And call me crazy, and it's kind of just a gut feeling, but something's fishy about the way that Ryder and Cortez have been on social media, how they've emphatically made a statement to be known about how they can't get a battle and they can't get, and Cortez specifically not getting booked for Summer Madness, which is something that I'm super disappointed in. I would have loved to see him on that stage. I'm thinking they're going to manifest that matchup on there. That might be something to make Cortez say yeah. And Ryder needs to get a one-on-one. Looking at the trend of the past battles that they've had in terms of surprise battles, they had Chess versus Av, two of their up-and-comers. Mike P versus Twerk, two of their up-and-comers. Young Cannon versus Jack Boy Maine. Jack Boy, one of the up-and-comers. Lil Goonies trending those last three. I think Ryder's gonna be a surprise battle. But I'm kind of just going off of a whim here. I mean, like I said, both of them have said clearly that they're not booked. They're having trouble finding matchups and things like that. But I want to see that battle just because of the back and forth. If not, I mean, the only other battle that can make sense to be on a Summer Madness stage and be a surprise battle that people can appreciate is something like a John versus Jack Boy. Something along those lines. Things like that. A battle like that is what's going to be making the fans want to go. The only other thing that I could say is, man, what an awesome time it'd be if O-Red was one of the surprise battles on there. I need to see O-Red back on that stage. Other than that, let's get into the actual card. Top versus Ab. T-Top versus Ab.
T-Top versus Ab.
This is a tough one. This is almost similar to how I was calling Moon versus Bill Collector in terms of it's going to be very, very difficult to decipher who's going to be, what you're going to prefer. Are you going to prefer the multi-punches, or are you going to prefer the angle base that T-Top usually goes with? Because Ab's going to come back-to-back punches, and T-Top's definitely going to come with an angle that's going to be unique, even though we've heard the biting bars. I hope he doesn't come with the whole necessary. If he comes with a unique style of it, which he can, he's very, very strategic when it comes to that. He could do something like that, but I gotta say, I mean, this is gonna be a tough one to call. I might have to give the edge to T-Top for the simple fact of having a little bit more experience on the big stage. They both have been putting on. And it's a battle that I wanted to see as soon as Ab started going on his tear. That was a battle that I was very interested in seeing. They had their little blogs back and forth on the URL page when they dropped that. They had a couple interviews on different platforms and media outlets. But I definitely think that that's something that's definitely going to be one to look into. One to definitely keep your eye on. I might, like I said, I might have to lean towards T-Top. No surprise if Av takes it. Like, it's going to be a close battle. It's going to come down to who you really prefer, whether it's going to be them multiple punches. If Av comes with a performance like he did versus Chess, T-Top, if you come with the performance that you had versus Goods, that performance was good, but you're going to have to step it up just a little bit more for a performance in comparison to that. If they both come like they last did, it will be not necessarily underwhelming, but for the expectations, I would say I expect a very high level of rapping and angle-based material from both of them. I got top 2-1. Next, Briz Rothstein versus Calico.
Briz Rothstein versus Calico.
This is gonna be a crazy one. I don't know, man. I know Calico technically already came back from his hiatus. You know, well, not last year, year before against Tay-Rock, but this is gonna be something to keep your eye on. I think his comeback for this battle, I think he got a different agenda, and he really wants to come in here and kill something this time. I feel like when he battled Tay-Rock, it was something more that the fans were clamoring for, and he had his mixtape going, or I'm sorry, that was an album, the Shoebox Money, and he's still doing his music. It's not like he's not pushing his music, and that's not on his agenda, but I think he really, really wants to come in here and put a performance for the fans to remember. It's feeling like Summer Madness again. Briz Rothstein, how can he lose? How can he lose? Leave the body halfway out the bag like a hash brown. One leg up. What? I'm telling you, man. Briz Rothstein. How can he lose? How can Briz Rothstein lose? This is gonna be a crazy, crazy battle. This is gonna be battle of the night. This one right here can definitely have battle of the night written all over it. JC and Rum Nitty go before them or after them. They may suck the air out of the room with that one, but I'm telling you, man, the energy that's going to be in this battle, I hope they get aggressive. Obviously, we don't want to see no fights or anything. We know this is all for the show, but you know, Briz Rothstein versus Suge, the pocket checks, things like that, the hat popping off. Oh man, I want to see it. I want to see a nice, high energy, high level battle between these two. I'm going to go crazy and say that Calico is going to take this 2-1 on the closest of edges. Closest of edges. But if Briz Rothstein wins, who do we want to see Briz Rothstein against next? If Briz Rothstein does what he's been doing, that's what I want to know. That's the question to be answered. Where's Briz Rothstein go if he puts a performance like he has against everyone else? Ill Will came in there with material that would have killed other rappers, and Briz Rothstein arguably won 3-0. Where does he go after this? I'm telling you, this is crazy. This is going to be one to remember. I'm telling you, man. I think Briz Rothstein may even pull an edge out of it. It's like I'm trying to go back and forth, but I'm going to solidify with Cal 2-1. Don't be surprised if Briz wins. I mean, he's due up. Like, that's the only thing I'm going to say. He's due up for not necessarily a bad performance, but for somebody to really put everything they got into it. And I think Calico is going to be the one to do that. Just like T-Top was doing his thing, and Goods came along, came on his comeback, and put on a hell of a performance. I think Calico might edge this one. This is going to be the battle of the night. Rum Nitty JC.
JC versus Rum Nitty.
Give me Lux. Where the fuck is Lux? JC, you have to have a performance of the century on the big stage. That has been, you are not battling Rum Nitty. You are battling the big stage in everyone's eyes. I think you will do perfectly fine. I don't hold that against you, but if we're going to ask the consensus, that is what everyone's saying. You need to put on a performance to remember on the biggest of all stages. And Rum Nitty has been there before against Tay-Rock in a fairly underwhelming performance in comparison to what we hold him to a standard for after him versus Av. But I gotta tell you, this is gonna be, if it really, like, I don't know if this can be battle of the night when you got Cal and Briz on the same card with the energy that's going to be in there. But in terms of longevity of this card on YouTube or wherever it gets uploaded, in terms of whatever it holds in the future for YouTube and battle rap, that battle, the penmanship that's going to be displayed in that battle is going to be crazy. that layered onion wrap that I'm always talking about, man, that is gonna be a punchline, just scheme crazy. It's gonna be a battle that you're gonna watch 3, 4, 5 times and have a different winner every time. I don't know who to edge in this battle. I gotta call someone on a prediction block, so I'm gonna lean JC's way, just because JC, you can't bet against JC right now. JC's last 3 performances versus Rum Nitty's last 3 performances, you have to lean towards JC. So I'm gonna do that. But nothing against Rum Nitty. One of my favorite. He's crept into some people's top 5 easily. And JC has held a position in top 5, and both, when it comes to the penmanship in the past year, 2 years, they're easily both top 5 pens in the game right now. So it's top. You're talking about a battle that you are going to have a view in the building, or if you're watching it live on pay-per-view, and then when you see it again and again and again, you're going to hear shit that you're like, what? I didn't even catch that the first 2 times I listened to this battle. I gotta put my headphones on for this. I gotta go on a walk. This battle, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to watch it. Not for nothing, this damn hurricane's coming. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to watch this battle and focus on it and consume everything that they're writing in one view. This is gonna be the craziest battle when it comes to longevity. Battle of the year Battle of the year contender easily, but battle of the night is definitely going to be Briz and Cal. But when it comes to battle of the event, it's going to be JC versus Rum. Next up, co-main event, Hitman Holla versus K Shine.
K Shine versus Hitman Holla.
A lot of fans were asking for this. We finally got it. A lot of bad blood. Almost didn't go down. I'm telling you, man, Hitman Holla has to come with a performance better than he did versus Suge. Definitely better than the 2-on-2. He had some low-key nice moments in that 2-on-2. But the cutting it short, man, just rap. Just rap. Let's not get into the politics of things. If you're getting your check and you're getting paid enough to want to be on that stage, you're already there. Rap the minutes until they tell you to stop. Don't cut yourself off. Don't pull a fast one like that. I feel like you're trying to pull one up on them, but I respect that you have a contract and you're binded to a certain time. I just hope that this battle doesn't get ruined with anything like that, or any funny business in terms of the aggression between the two. We almost want to hold this battle till the end, after everyone, just in case there is anything like that, which I don't imagine. I imagine cooler heads will prevail, and this is going to be performed of the art. I imagine it's going to be put more of a show on, where, yeah, they might get aggressive, but nothing's really going to go on between them two. I'm excited to see the aggression in this battle, almost more than the bars, if that sounds crazy. I don't want to sound like one of those types of fans that doesn't really, focus on the sport. I don't want to see a fight, but I want to see them barking on each other, that old school, the Philly DVD types of battle. That's what I want to see between these two. I want to see that old T-Rex versus NH. I want to see something like that, up in their face, rhyming. I want to see what can transpire between this battle without all the fuckery. I don't want to see the cutting short rhymes. I just want to see bars and aggression. I gotta say though, if we're gonna judge from last performances, and I find myself to always bet against K Shine. And granted, if you watch O-Red, I had O-Red beating K Shine, and his first round was really good, but his second round were kind of flat to me. So if I gotta say, from that last performance, I can give the edge to Hitman Holla. But if we're going to go to the T-Rex performance and then we're going to go to the 2-on-2 performance, that's really difficult to bet against K Shine. K Shine wasn't super amazing. That was definitely a beatable performance, but he had the aggression mixed in with the rhymes, and his punchlines were on point. In turn, minus a few you know, lift overhead deadlifts type of bars, minus some of the stuff like that. But I'm excited to see this one. I think it's gonna definitely be one to see. It's difficult to call between the two. It's gonna depend because I don't want any fuckery to happen. I just want some aggressive, you know, just a high energy battle, similar to Briz and Cal. I want to see something like that. I want to see these two bargain each other and just let your rhymes go. Don't cut yourself short and anything like that. I'm really holding that Double Impact 2 performance against Holla a little bit, but I'm gonna definitely say, if I gotta go with my gut feeling, I'm gonna lean towards Hitman Holla. I think he's gonna control the crowd more. I think he's gonna control the crowd a little bit more and hold it down. Now the only thing is that I think it might be a little bit biased too, and they might really shit on his whole, you know, give him the verb treatment. And it's like, if they do that, that's another thing that I really don't want to see. I just want to see a fucking good battle, man. That's all I want to see. I'm gonna lean towards Hitman just purely off of a gut instinct. I'm not going to be surprised if K-Shine wins. This is going to be a 2-1 either way. I don't think anybody gets body bagged. The only way something like that's going to happen is if someone's just fucking around with time. Like, if the time gets fucked up, or if the aggression is overkill and it turns into a fight, or just takes the energy out of the battle because it gets too aggressive, then yeah, I mean, I'll be kicking myself in the ass for wanting to see so much aggression. But I'm going to lean towards Holla in terms of my prediction. 2-1, don't be surprised if K-Shine wins. That's going to be a toss-up battle. That's like a coin flip. That's not even a preference or anything like that. It's just they're kind of unpredictable when it comes to how they're going to perform on that big stage. Main event time.
Tay-Rock versus Hollow the Don.
We got Tay-Rock versus Hollow the Don. LOM help. LOM help. Go follow LOM help before you follow LOM clothing. No shade to the clothing brand. I just like what he does with that LOM help. It's a real awesome thing that he does. Shout out to Math Hoffa as well. If you haven't checked out his GoFundMe, definitely check that out for the kids, back to school programs, things like that. But let's get to the battle. Let's definitely get to the battle. This is going to be a battle that comes down to the third round. Let's take Hollow Don's last performance on the URL stage versus Charlie Clips. That first round was incredible. First round was almost impeccable. And it's just everything from the jokes, guess what room I'm in, to the aggression, to the breaking down of his style, everything. I think he's going to break down Tay-Rock's style. I think he's going to do a lot of different things that may not have been done against Tay-Rock. A lot of people go against Tay-Rock and try to match his aggression, match his gun lines, and don't try to break down his style. The only person who even got maybe a kind of close to breaking down his style, something like that, is maybe, and not even breaking down his style, just maybe getting personal with someone like Arsenal. You know, he got him off of Smack and he made him come to UW and shit like that. But Hollow the Don is super strategic when it comes to that. So I think the first round, he's going to break down Tay-Rock. Tay-Rock's definitely going to come out swinging. I think Tay-Rock comes with super high energy in his first round, especially being known as the second round killer. I think he might be so inspired for a matchup like this that he's going to put a lot into his first round as well. I just still think that Hollow is going to take that first round. When we get into the second round, I can't. When's the last? Please, somebody tell me when's the last second round that Tay-Rock has lost. Let me know in the comments. At me on Twitter. Let me know. I want to know when's the last second round that Tay-Rock's lost, because I can't remember. I think he easily wins the second round, no matter what. Almost, it's like because of how crazy it is. Like no matter what, he's gonna win. He's gonna win the second round just off default. And it's like, I know it sounds silly, but just he's gonna package so much into the round like he always does. I feel like when he writes, I want to ask him how his writing process is, because if I always wonder, some rappers have to write their first round to their third round. I can only imagine that's how some of them do it. And if that is how he writes, I feel like he starts off fire, and then it's just like by the end of his first round, he's on fire, and he gets through his second round. His second round is like the peak of his whole shit that he writes. And then in towards the end of his third round, just gets to his slogan. It bleeds into his third round, which is what makes the third round interesting. Because now we're going to get into the third round. It's 1-1. Where does Hollow go? Because I'm completely almost like just completely ignoring his second round. Which no, he's going to have a second round that's probably going to be fire. Whether he's going to break him down, whether he's going to match his aggression and do something like that. He might come in and do something like that where he matches his aggression, gun bars, and goes crazy. Hollow's been crazy every time he steps on any of these stages. I mean, very rarely does he have a performance that you look at and you're like, eh. I mean, his third round versus Clips is really like the one part where towards the end it's just like, oh man, like he's super dry there. So if you take that performance and you look at that in the third round, then it gets interesting. Because Rock doesn't dry up in the third round. He just, that's his other round that he usually is able to steal away from you and what edges him most of his battles. But it's going to be a super toss-up when it comes to this third round. I might have to lean towards Hollow. But it's difficult to say. The only reason I say this too is because if you look at Hollow the Don, and every time he's ever taken a battle, he's only taken one battle. He's never been booked for 2 matches back to back. Tay-Rock has always, a lot of these other guys, they're always, they're not necessarily watering themselves down, but they take battles back to back. They take 2 opponents at once, where they're booked for 2 opponents, right for the first one, battle them, right for the second one after, whatever the case. Hollow was booked for Diz, had throwaways for Rock, but the thing is the way Hollow also writes is that he focuses so hard and comes up with so many rounds and so much material that it's almost like he doesn't write rounds, he just writes material and he puts it together at the end. And it's crazy because his writing style is something that I don't want to say can't be matched, because there's very particular writing styles between a lot of people that do similar aspects of the same thing, but it's something very strategic that he does. And he does take it almost like he's like the John Jones without all the bullshit behind. When it comes to how strategic John Jones is with all the fights that he's been in, that's almost exactly how it is when it comes to the way Hollow preps for an opponent. So it's difficult to see how he's going to do now that he's booked for 2 battles, considering that we know he's going to battle Diz, and we know it's going to be more than likely on World Dom, which is an event coming up, so it's something that's been booked. Now, is he ready writing for Diz? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he wrote that 1 promo round and that was it. 5 minutes, that's easy work to do for a promo battle. I'm excited. I want to lean towards Hollow the Don. I'm going to give Hollow the Don the battle 2-1. That's my prediction. I'll give him the third round. I'm going to edge him the third round. I think he loses the second just purely off of what the heck. I can't bet against Tay-Rock in the second round. Will it be a debatable battle? Will it be a preference battle? Yes and yes. Both of them have a huge fan base, so in both of their eyes, they're not going to lose. I mean, does the stock drop go on any of them? Hell no. I mean, unless one of them gets body bagged, nothing like that. And I don't see either one of them getting body bagged. This isn't a battle that somebody's going to get body bagged. Hollow 2-1. Tay-Rock's going to have a performance of the century against Hollow, and I imagine Hollow will come with some amazing angles and a particular breakdown of Tay-Rock that we haven't necessarily heard before. I'm excited to see it. Follow the movement, Battle Rap Radar, Gion 1791, Summer Madness 6. Drop in the comments, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know. Let me know your predictions. Out.